Hi viewers, today I've come with a very easy tips for parents and also for everyone for that matter about how to handle and respond to stress and emotions which are overwhelming and not to react to it, especially in various conditions, and how you can easily come out of and solve problems which may look very big under stressful conditions. So as human beings, we're all stressed in our everyday life, and certain things looks very like a mountain. Oh, I cannot do it. It's like very overwhelming. And under certain situations, when you're really put up in that relaxed situation, if you can think for a while, the same things which look very overwhelming looks very simple when we are relaxed. Then we feel like, oh, I can do that, and I think I'm confident about doing it. But this insight or self-realization, I don't think many would have experienced it. So take a while to ponder on the points which I've just now told, because our moods are something which cannot be always relied on, because emotional mind is something which is very transitory and which is not very logical. It's highly irrational. So we need not actually rely our decisions when we are so emotional, or that's why a lot of people go to say that we should not make any important decisions while you're emotional, because there is a science behind it. When we're so emotional, our emotional brain, that's amygdala, takes its more control over our thinking brain, that's our frontal lobe, where all our executive functioning like thinking, problem solving reside. So what happens during such flight and fight situations is that we are not able to think clearly. So because of that lack of thinking ability, we might be only ready for fight or flight and not able to make proper decision, and things may look very difficult under such stressful situation. So if you are going to make a hasty or impulsive decision while you are under stress, it may go very wrong. So it's a very important tip for you to stop, and also even about whether you can sign this project or I can take up the studies or whatever, such important decisions, and about how efficacy you feel about yourself, whether do you believe your own ability. All those things, please don't ever ponder on when you're emotional. So how do you know when you're emotional? Obviously, I hope that all of you can be aware when you're getting those emotions. So try to be aware of your emotions and see how your thought process are, and how your physical sensations are, and how your thoughts are. Generally, during emotional situations, your thoughts are going to be super negative, and your physical sensations are going to be like heart beating or palpitation so high, and your stomach like twitching, and you can feel the butterflies in the stomach, and you feel very sweaty, and you may feel like lightheaded. All these are physical sensations during such situations. So please identify when you're emotional, and I hope you can catch when you're emotional, and don't rely what emotions tell you. It may tell a lot of wrong things, but when you're in the right mindset and when you're so energetic in a positive mindset, things look very positive and feel like doable. So don't be carried away or hijacked by your emotions. And one more important tip for parents, as I told earlier, a lot of times parents react to children, and especially teens. I would like to emphasize about teens, because teens are the ones who are going to throw up a lot of tantrums, and like children, I would say, because they have extreme mood swings because of ever since their puberty, because of their hormones. So they are going to become very irrational, and why they are getting angry, no idea we have. But then parents, when they listen to such emotional moments of their own teens, they feel like they don't even love me, and they are just like they are very carefree and don't even care for their own parents, and they don't even care for their studies, and lot of such assumptions and ideas and judgment we make, and assumptions we make based on the temporary mood swings of our own teens or children, especially teens. So I would like parents to stop this judgment on a while and think whether these words came from your teens when they are very normal or when they are emotional. And most of the times, these kind of things come from your own teens when they are under emotions, and that is for most of the times. So you need not feel intimidated, or you need not feel like oh, my teen is up to this, because just because of their emotion, it's just their emotional outburst. And with that understanding, parents also should not react to the emotional mood swings of the teens, and you becoming your own children and shouting back at them to behave and all that, and showing your own emotional outbursts, and it's going to become so chaotic. When a child is behaving like child, a parent's responsibility is to become like an adult, not become. You should be talking from an adult stage, and that way you need to understand your children's emotions and be very pacifying and be calm for that moment, be responding for that moment, and later you can sit and talk to your teen about their emotional outbursts and try to explain them this is not the way you react and this is not the way you talk to your parents and all that. But then we should never argue. Please refrain from any kind of emotional argument while your teens are already fully emotional. So too emotional people and things are going to get very worse, and your relationship may become very delicate later, and you may also regret and feel guilty of the same. All the situations I'm sure moms of teens can relate to, and from this please understand that when your teen is emotional and going to have an outburst, please keep quiet, please respond. How can you do that? There are some tips for that. You need to just have a first point. Okay, from this video I understand that teens are not meaning what they say. They just don't mean what they say. They are just emotional or irrational things are going to come out from their mouth. So I need not feel offended by those remarks. As the first understanding parent should intake in their own mind. The second thing is, after understanding and being aware of it, so when such emotional triggers come in, you need to take a deep breath and be calm. And if that is not possible, just try to escape from the situation. You tell them like, I'm not ready to talk to you now, I'll talk to you later. I know teens may follow you because they just want to finish, saying all those words and just want to release those emotions. But then you just need to take that small break so that you just have to fly away from the situation, go to a door and close yourself, and then take a deep breath and then come back and talk to them. Because in that fraction of a second, any words you say may again trigger your teens, and the situation may become even more messy. Or you can go for a countdown, like you can count yourself like 100, 99, 98. If that gets so easy, go for a reverse alphabet count. Z, Y, X, W. That way you can go for a reverse count. So these ways you can try to manage your overwhelming emotions. But with practice and with this consciousness and mindfulness, you won't even get emotional, and you can just show your mock emotions and try to remain very calm and respond to the situation. So please don't be hijacked by emotions, and emotions are just trying to tell you that things are not safe and you just have to react. But then we need to keep our emotional brain under control and try to harness the power of our thinking brain and react and respond in a more civilized way possible. So the two tips are, don't take any decisions or don't make any judgments when you're emotional about your own self or about anything which you can handle, especially people who are working and people who are studying and homemakers. For everyone this is very common. And you may understand what I'm trying to say by reflecting on those things, how things were very easier when you're relaxed and how things were so complicated when you're stressful, and I hope you can get it. So just don't be hijacked by emotion. The next tip is for the parents of teens, don't ever react, but learn to respond. Your relationship with your teens will be so meaningful, so great, and they can just learn that kind of emotional calmness from you and master the art of emotional management and be better in EQ when they become an adult also. I hope you understood the tips, and if you find it more interesting and useful, please do share with your friends, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe, and see you in another interesting video. Take care. Bye.